host, Ty. I am honored to have Calvin Darville on the show from Comfortable Closings in Florida. Happy Sunday. If this is your first time viewing my channel, I am the Abnormal Notary, like I stated. You can find me on Instagram. If most of you guys have been following me, you know I get very, very nervous on these things, so my voice shakes. But as I get better, this will get better. So we're gonna jump right into it. Just to give you a little background about me, I am a loan signing agent. I've just opened up my mentor and coaching program. If you want to talk to me, the link is in the description down below. So with that being said, let's get rocking.
What's up?
Calvin.
What's up?
How are you? How are you? Good. So first, I appreciate you for taking out the time to do this with me. Like I said, people tend to roll in, come out, whatever. So we're just going to rock and ask questions and go from there. So if you don't mind, who you are, where you're from, where you're started, and I'm just going to give you the stage and I'll come back.
All right, cool. Yep, my name's Calvin. I was born in Florida, Wellington to be exact, Palm Beach County. I played football growing up, and football ended up leading me to college. I went to Florida A&M University, played all 4 years, ended up getting hurt in my senior year of college. So I had dreams to go to the NFL, had teams looking at me, and that was my plan. That was my only plan, honestly. So got hurt, tore my Achilles, which ended my career in football. From there, I had to find something to turn to. I worked a couple of side jobs at Best Buy, construction jobs, and then I found out about real estate. So I did real estate wholesaling for a year and eventually found out about becoming a loan signing agent. And I took Mark Will's training course, loan signing system. And from there, I, got into this business. I started off doing personal loan signings, and I've built it up now to where I own a signing service called Comfortable Closings, and we're doing about 200 closings a month just through my signing service. And that's my story.
So first of all, that's crazy. Are you still loan signing yourself?
Yes, I actually still do personal closings myself, which I'm gonna have to step out of shortly to focus more because once you start the signing service and you have to manage that business, it's very time consuming, and then trying to be out there on the road, travel from closing to closing, and then manage, the closings I may have going on in other areas. It's a very time consuming thing.
So tell me a little bit about how Comfortable Closings got started. Like, you said you were into football, you got hurt, right? But then how did the whole transition to becoming a loan signing agent, then open up your signing service? So let's start with loan signing agent. Like, what did you see a commercial, like a Mark Willis commercial? Like,
it was funny. So like I said, after I got hurt, I ended up finding out about real estate wholesaling. So I did that literally for a year. And I didn't really have much success in it, but I learned so much about real estate investing. And I was just riding around one day. I was looking for properties, looking for distressed properties, and I had a podcast on, like I always do. I always listen to podcasts when I'm driving. And Mark Wills happened to pop up on the podcast, and he was talking about becoming a loan signing agent. I'm like, what is a loan? What is this? A notary, you close on homes and all that. What is this? But it sounded really legit. So I ended up following up with it. I took the course, and from there, it just, I did everything he said. I studied the documents, the marketing and all of that. I started with working with only signing services. So from the very jump, I called over 200, probably over 300 signing services in my first week of being a loan signing agent. I called over 300, emailed everyone, and followed up with every single one, and that is really what allowed me to propel my business, going forward. No, go
ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, just coming out the gate, just taking that massive action at the gate is what propelled me, just because I speak with a lot of notaries, they always reach out and they always ask, like they may not be getting closings, this, that, and they're just starting off, and what helped me was just taking that massive action and just getting your name out there, because what I always tell people, like, You could be a great notary, you could be a great loan signing agent, you could just be a great person. But if somebody does not know you, they cannot do business with you, period. It doesn't matter how good you are. So the first thing is just to get known, so calling 300 companies allowed me to get known.
I'm going to tell you, so I have, I don't know if you're on Clubhouse or if you have an iPhone or whatever. So I am a huge proponent of not having like hundreds and hundreds of signing companies. And this is where you and I are probably going to a little bit of banter. The reason why is because I feel like if you sign up to all of these companies, how are you going to be able to keep track of so many companies? I get it. You want people to come in, you want to get as much business as possible. But if you have like hundreds and hundreds of emails coming through from various signing companies, how are you going to be able to keep up with them? So my thing is, I say get 10 or 15 that are really, really, really good, that you know is going to be having you hit the pavement versus signing up to so many. So what are your thoughts on that?
See, I definitely agree with what you're saying. The only thing that I'm saying is that when you call the 300 company, it's not like you're going to work for every 300. Right. Out of the 300 companies, I probably only work with 10 or 15. So every time I was asking, hey, I'm in Tampa. Do you do business in Tampa, Florida? That's my leading question. Hey, I'm a loan signing agent. I'm based out of Tampa, Florida. Do you all do business in this area? I cover these counties. And if they do, then boom, I'm marking them down. I'm putting an asterisk by that name because I need to follow up with them. So I literally, out of calling 300 companies, probably honestly like 5 to 7 were solid, consistent work out of all 300, and then the benefit of it was that I had like 5 to 7 companies that were solid. And then like I had a slow day, I would always get like a random closing from one of the 300 companies. Hey, this is such and such company. I'm like, wow, I called these people like 5 months ago. And then I get a random closing. That would literally fill in those slow days for me, It's just like what you're saying though, like 10 to 15, that's all you need. If you even need that many,
Yeah. But I agree. So
go ahead. Go ahead. But you're going to find out those companies.
What'd you say? One more time.
I was just going to say, to find those companies like the 10 to 15 is best if you take massive action, in my opinion, and just hit the ground running.
Yeah. So my question. So I have probably a 3-part question. So the first question is you hit on. So when I call the companies, the first thing that I say is, hey, do you service XYZ in my area? I think a lot of times as new loan signing agents, they believe just because they signed up, that's it. There's nothing else that has to be done. They don't. And this is what I tell people. If they don't know you and you're a brand new loan signing agent, how are they going to know that you're available? So after you sign up, right? After you sign up, you call and say, hey, this is Ty, or hey, this is Calvin. I'm a new loan signing agent. Or do you even say new? Or do you just say, hey, I'm a loan signing agent? How do you phrase your intro?
I mean, if you're going in, don't tell the person you're new, you don't have to lie to them, but just, hey, I'm a loan signing agent. I'm based out of such and such area. And, speak about the knowledge. Like if somebody calls me, if a signing agent calls me now and whether they're new or not, you don't have to tell me. But if you start telling me knowledge, like, hey, I don't miss signatures. I know that'll cause funding conditions. I make sure I get all my documents delivered because I know the title company needs those documents as soon as possible. That those speak terms that are going to make me, know that you know what you're doing, regardless of how many closings you've actually done. And now if you can do that, then you'll be good to go.
So it's really about knowing what you're saying and the context of what you're saying. I guess okay. So definitely. Okay, so when you're signing up to these signing companies, right? Some of them, when I started back in August of 2020, I think I've done over 1,000. I don't know, I've lost count at this point. But back when I was doing it back then, I would sign up to certain signing companies. They'd be like, oh, Ty, but we're on Snapdocs. So as long as you're on Snapdocs, you don't need to sign up with me. I don't know if that's necessarily true because in my opinion, I can sign up, but I'm just going to be a needle in a haystack with tens of thousands of other people. So my thing is, why don't I just call you anyway and say, hey, I'm on Snapdocs, make me your preferred agent? I mean, what are your thoughts?
No, that's true. Like, so if you're getting that type of pushback, then you need to tell them if whatever platform that they use, you need to tell that if you're calling a signing service, you need to tell them to mark you as a preferred notary. So it's like, hey, XYZ signing service, I'm a loan signing agent. I do business in your area, and they push back with, okay, well, if you're on Snapdocs, we're good to go. Then from there, you need to, well, can I be a preferred notary on your platform? You know? Can I be? Because like you say, it's a needle in a haystack. You know, if they log on to this on Snapdocs, I mean, it's thousands and thousands of notaries on Snapdocs. Like, you know, so you need to be preferred. You know, so you're at the top of the list when they have a closing in your area.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. Typically, I wait for questions to happen at the end, but so I don't lose track, we got a question. You cool with it, Calvin? I'm gonna pop it up.
Yep, that's cool.
All right, cool. So this is from Pamela. She says, how do you know if the signing service is servicing your area? Should you try to go for a signing service in your area first, or does that not matter because most are nationwide? What is your strategy? Thanks, Pamela.
You want me to answer that?
Please.
Well, you can find out by giving them a call. They don't have to be necessarily based, you know, in that area. So with the signing service, their clients are, you know, usually title companies. So it's just if that particular title company has a high volume of closings in your area. So like one of my clients, they have a high volume of closings in Jacksonville. So if you're a notary in Jacksonville and you want to work with me, then I'll have a lot of business in that particular area, just because one of my clients does a lot of business in that area. So you can find this information out by calling them and just telling them where you're at and asking them, do you do a lot of business? And they will say yes or no, you know, because if they do a lot of business in that area, then they're going to want to have multiple signing agents to go to, you know, they want the more, literally the merrier. If you're a good notary, like, yeah, I mean, the more the merrier, because, you know, it gets crazy out here, and especially with the way the real estate market is right now, like, you know.
Yeah, I agree. So I have another question. This is going to be for you as well. This is from Eileen. Eileen is basically saying, I did that, guys, and I told them that, and the agency had to go through Snapdocs. So I think we answered that question, right, Calvin? Even though they tell you to go through Snapdocs, you still say, hey, this is Eileen. I just signed up on your platform. I just want to make sure that you know I am available.
Yeah, literally, you know, and just follow up, like, you know, because they're gonna be hesitant, you know, the first time they get a call from you. They never work with you. Like, you know, anytime you do business with somebody, you know, for the first time, there's gonna be a little bit of hesitancy and maybe a little anxiety or whatever. But you know, you just got to keep following up so they remember your name. So when they do get a close in their area and they see your name on the portal, like, hey, I believe it's Eileen. Hey, that's Eileen who you know, who's been calling me, you know, over and over. Let me give her a shot, you know?
Yeah, I agree. So let's segue into the next part, which is, you have neck problems like I do? Like, I used to be an MMA fighter, and I just be like,
yeah, I mean,
sometimes my neck shakes, and I'm like, everybody, are you saying no? No, it's just my neck is shaking. I
work out all the time. Like, I worked out right before I got on here. I'm sore. I'm always working out.
It's all good. You're welcome, Eileen. Okay, so the next question is, a lot of the times, excuse me, a lot of people ask, okay, so if I go, for instance, I push Notary Go. I push Notary Go for the simple fact they don't care who you are, right? You could have your first loan, this could be your first loan, they don't care, don't matter.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So the question I have is, Notary Go only does $60.
Oh my goodness.
They'll send me to Saudi Arabia, come back to do a scan back, wait, tell me to go for $60, but you get paid weekly, okay? So the question I have is, why do some signing services charge $60? Excuse me. Sorry, my allergies are kicking my butt.
You're all right.
Some charge $60, some charge $150. Why the difference?
I mean, I'm not 100% sure about that, but my guess would be that you know, Notary Go, they're a huge company, so they probably have some type of corporate contract with whatever title company that they're working with, and it's probably a volume contract. So it's probably like, you know, they probably guarantee Notary Go a certain amount of closings a month. And then Notary Go charges them a smaller fee because they're giving them so many closings a month. And if there's not a lot of, you know, if they're getting a smaller fee, then there won't be enough to pay the notaries out, you know. So I mean, that would be my guess. You know, I try to keep my fees high for notaries because, you know, I want good, you know, good quality notaries who know their stuff to work for me. And I know if, you know, if I'm if I'm going to work with good quality notaries, then, you know, I'm going to have to pay them, you know, pay them for their time. Because when I was doing closings personally, which I still do, you know, I want to be paid good money, you know, for my time, you know. So, and I'm also working on increasing my fees with my clients so I can pay my notaries more, you know. So I want to have higher fees for my clients. And you know, I've told them like, hey, you know, in order for us to have good notaries out on these closings, then, you know, I'm gonna need to pay them. You know, in order for me to pay them, then my fees need to be higher in order for me to run a business. You know, so I mean, the signing service has to make money. Notary has to make money, and then obviously the title company. Everyone wants to make some money. You know, so it's all a team effort. You know.
Yeah. So somebody, I think it was Eileen. She said notary low. What'd she say?
No, I mean, what you're saying is great. What you said about Notary Go is great advice. I mean, especially starting off, I did so many closings for Notary Go. I mean, when you work with them, it's experience. It's like internship, you know. It's don't think about the money. Just think about learning the business and becoming a good notary. Because guess what? If you go and if you get a direct client directly with a title company out the gate and you screw it up, you know, they're not going to give you any more business, you know. So if you want to screw up, then I would rather screw up with Notary Go than screw up with
yes,
a solid title company.
Yes, I agree. Excuse me, y'all. I keep jumping back in. My throat is killing me. But regarding Notary Go, to Calvin's point, and I guess I'll just piggyback off what he says. The reason why I push them is because they're like your training module, if you will, because they have so many clients that come through them over public title, right? Caliber home loan, so on and so forth. And these are people that you actually be like, hey, do you guys take on direct signing agents, right? Notary Go can also be a source. So it's not just a loan signing. You can actually take the information source, the direct client. Okay. Yeah. I think we have some more questions and then we'll go back into it. Okay. So Calvin, this is from Diane. Because of COVID, most not in the office. Are phone calls or email the preferred method of contacting? Diane, do you mean, I guess we're talking about signing agents, but that would go both. Yeah. So signing services. Thoughts on it, Calvin? What do you think?
Well, I'm not sure where Diane is at. I'm in Florida, and majority of my companies majority of the title companies are open. So I am able to still walk in and market, but there was a point when they weren't. And wherever you're at, I would just recommend, going with call, email. I wouldn't. If you've never spoke with this, if they don't know who you are, I don't recommend emailing them because they're probably just gonna put you in spam or something. But phone call, that'd be great. You know, call, introduce yourself, send them a gift, send them a care package, send them something, and then give them a call when give them a call right before that gift get there. It's like, hey, my name's Diane. I'm a local loan signing agent. I just want to introduce myself. If you all need anything, I would love to help you all out. And I'm also sending you a care package full of goodies, you know, so you in the office can enjoy that. And I mean, just go and knock, even if it's locked, you know, if they're in the office, you know, just knock on the door, you know, so they'll usually come up there and just, you know, give them a quick, you know, if the doors are closed and they probably need help, you know, but I remember when the doors closed over here, business went out the roof because they weren't, you know, nobody could come in. So they probably really need help. So if the doors are closed wherever you're at, I mean, that could be a great benefit. So, you know, give them a call and just try to knock on the door, introduce yourself, and, you know, give them your business card and tell them what you do and how great of a loan signing agent you are.
So this is my thing. I'm gonna keep it 100. And people that know me and follow me, I'm not like I'm straight to the point, but I like go walk into a building. Hey, I'm Ty, and this is who I am. I'm more of a pick up the phone type of person. I agree with you on the email because I feel like it'll get lost in translation somewhere. But I think picking up the phone, but I think it's also knowing and having confidence what you're saying when you call them. You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of people get scared. And I think just because they sign up to a profile for a notary platform, that's it. And they don't think they have to pick up the phone. And I think some of that fear and anxiety happens when they have to do that, or they don't know what to do, if that makes sense. So, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta work your pitch, you know, and it's not really, it is a pitch, but you're offering a service. You know, if you are a good loan sign agent and you know you are a good loan sign agent, you know you don't miss signatures, you know the documents, you know how to provide a comfortable closing experience, then it is your duty to go and do that. You need to go and provide that service for these title companies because it's a team effort. You know, if you're a good notary and you make the title company look good, they will get more business, and in turn, they can give you more business. Or if you're working with signing service, you make the signing service look good, then the signing service looks good to the title company looks good. It's all, it all trickles down. The lender looks good. Everyone's getting more business. Everyone, team effort. So you're good.
Calvin, sorry, go ahead. Finish what you're saying. Because I have thoughts. My thoughts are running.
I was gonna say, if you're a good notary, go and present yourself. That's all I'm saying.
So the lenders, title companies, and signing services talk to each other?
Do I believe what?
About loan signing agents. So do you believe lenders, title companies, and signing services, do they talk to each other? So for instance, if I had a loan signing through, I don't know, Coast to Coast, right? And I screwed it up. Is Coast to Coast going to tell another signing service, hey, be careful because Ty, she's so-so? Do you believe they have time to do all that? Does that make sense?
Are you asking me, if you mess up with one signing service, do you think that they will spread the word to another signing service?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. That's all on platform. So if you're on Snapdocs, if you're on signing order, whatever, so on the platform, there's reviews about the notary's performance. So I mean, if you do a horrible job, or if you do something like, I mean, I've read all type of reviews. So I've heard of notaries demanding more literally at the closing table, calling the signing service like, hey, I want more money. I mean, you can't do things like that, and then, they're going to leave a negative remark. They may pay you more, but they may pay you just so that you can get the deal done. But it's going to be a negative remark on your profile. And I can see that. I have a signing service. When I go in and I look at that, is the main thing I'm looking at when I'm picking notaries is experience. So how many closings have you done on this platform, and what are the reviews? I'll take a notary with one negative review because things happen, and I don't like when signing, like if you miss a signature, I'm not going to write a negative review because you missed a signature. But if we had a closing on Wednesday and you didn't drop the documents till next Tuesday, I might write a negative review about something like that, because that's a decision you made. That's just not a little minor mistake. That's a decision like, hey, I don't care anything about this closing. I'll drop these documents whenever I want to. So, but yeah, be careful.
Have you had that happen before? Have you had that happen before?
I've never had that happen, because I always vet my notaries, and I usually know who I'm working with. So I work with professionals.
I like it. So and we're going to tag your company, because are you looking for notaries to come onto your platform? Or are you still?
Yes, I am. Yes, and I will have a website up and running by next week. So by next week, you all can all go and get signed up with me. And I would love, I'm always looking for new notaries. Always competent, awesome, professional notaries.
Yep. Okay. We're going to circle back to that, because I have a big mantra on the whole, knowing what you want and making sure you're going to the right person that mentors you. You're not just, anyway, that's a whole banter for me. Okay. So next question from Tracy. As a new notary, how do I market my services and a company would be giving me my first signing?
New notary, how do I market my services and a company will be giving me my first? I'm guessing she's asking, how does she basically get her first closing? Yeah,
through marketing.
I mean, if you're trying to go through signing service, phone calls, call the signing service, call them. I'll give you one really good one. If you're on a platform, so if you're on Snapdocs and you get a notification about a 9 a.m. closing in your area, you need to click that thing as soon as possible, accept the appointment, then call that person, call the company that sent it, and tell them, hey, I'm available for this closing as well. If nobody has it, I can cover it. Even if it gets covered and you don't get it, that looks great. That shows you have passion. That shows you want to do this closing. You want to perform. You want to help. So if you get a notification, click yes, I'm available, if you are available, and then give them a call. Your sound, I can't hear you.
Because I'm on mute, and I do it all the time, Calvin. I'll have a straight conversation with myself and don't realize I'm muted. So you actually just gave me a hack. So I tend to So since I've been doing it for so long, I don't pick up the phone anymore. But when you said, hey, when that Snapdocs order comes over and you click available and immediately pick up the phone and say, hey, what's up? That's actually a really good hack. Because I didn't really think about that. Because when I see it, I'm like, oh, let me click the button really, really quick, you know. But the irony of it is, even though you click it available, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get it. So I think picking up the phone with that added layer, I think that's really, really good. That's really, really good, actually.
Communication. Yeah. And I see a comment here I want to comment on real quick.
Yeah, which one?
From Darkness Falls, he says, I hate how one-sided those reviews are because notaries can't defend themselves, especially if they're being lied on. You see
Where
it?
do you see that at? Nah.
From Darkness
Is it already
Falls.
at the bottom?
Nice.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. So this, that's true. I'm so if I see negative, if I see one or two, I will still give you a shot. So I always read the reviews. And like I said, if it's like, oh, this notary missed the signature, you know, I'm not gonna hold that, you know, too much weight on that because I know mistakes happen, you know, regardless of how long and how good you've been doing this, you know, every now and then you will slip up and make a mistake. So I don't hold that, you know, I read the reviews. Now, if it's this notary called the borrower and cussed them out because they couldn't meet me at a certain time and tried to change the appointment to Monday and it was supposed to be on Tuesday. Now, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to work with this notary. And if you have like 5 negative reviews, I'm not working with you. I'm honestly not. Like I can do maybe one, you know, I'm hesitant on 2, but anything over that, you know, there's a reason why you got that many, you know, especially if you don't have zero.
Yeah, and I agree with the whole review. So this is I'm gonna do a little plug. So every Wednesday I'm on Clubhouse and I'm going to be doing like education and kind of like my whole motivation mindset. I'm going to be diving into Snapdocs because a lot of people misunderstand how Snapdocs is ran and they think that, oh, I've signed up to Snapdocs, but they don't understand there could be some credentials, your profile. Just because you add additional information under your profile doesn't necessarily mean it's going to get validated. So there's a lot of things I want to talk to y'all about on Wednesday. So if y'all are plugged in and you have an iPhone, check out, follow me, Abnormal Notary. That's what I am. On Clubhouse, we're going to be talking about it. And I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks this week focused on Snapdocs. So be on the lookout for that. For this, Calvin, I will tell you this. I don't think it's fair that we can't see our reviews. I don't think that it's fair that that one company can charge $60, but then I can turn right around, negotiate, and then they give it to me for $150, right? So my thing is, if you already have this threshold that you can go up to a certain amount, why the heck you're not going to give me that certain amount? Like that doesn't make sense to me. So as a signing company, can you explain that?
I mean, it's a business, so you know, there may be a little extra wiggle room in there, but I mean, you got to think, you know, in order for there to be a signing service, the only way that there will be a signing service is if that business makes money. The second that business is not making any more money is the second that business goes away. So you got to understand, you know, like the notary fee may be like $150 and they're paying you $60. You know, they have employees they have to pay. They have they got business expenses they have to take care of. So the business needs to generate income in order for it to operate, you know. So that, I mean, that's the only reason why they're taking that much. You know, I wouldn't do that. You know, if I'm getting $150, I'm not going to pay my notary $60. You know, it depending on the type of, if it's a buy, like I got some people on here who work with me. I see Betsy. She knows. What's up, Betsy? But she knows. You know, if you're doing a buyer package for me, and I'm gonna pay you $100. You know, and depending on the circumstances, I may pay you more. If it's an urgent ASAP, I'll put some more money on it. You know, just depending on, you know. But my standard buyers is $100. You know, so and I feel like that's a pretty fair fee. Yeah, I did closings for $100.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, that's amazing. And Notary Go is notorious for that. Not to, you know, shun on Notary Go, but it is what it is. They'll pay you $60, but if they're very, very desperate, they'll go up to like $175 and pay you right, like, you know. So it doesn't make sense. So I feel like unless they're in a bind, that's the only way that they'll be like, okay, yes, I accept it. Unless you're just the bomb diggity, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. There's some questions about how to have service, so we're going to get to that here soon because we're getting to the bottom of the hour. So let me just pop up some more questions. And then we will keep going. Okay. Here's a question. Cheryl, is there any way around the question on agency apps that request number of closings you've done? Or if you have any experience with closing? My experience is via training. So I guess if I'm understanding your question is when you're filling out these resumes, but these profiles for the different platforms to sign up on, they ask you the quantity that you've done. So if you put 0, what is the likelihood that somebody's going to say, "Hey, come on board. We want to take a chance on you"? How do you get around that?
The only way you can really counter that without lying is, you just have to put 0, and then you just have to call. And if you have training, then you have some form of knowledge. You just got to you got to call them and be like, "Hey, I haven't done any closings, but I've been training. I've been studying the documents. I understand any missed signatures could possibly cause funding conditions. I understand trust verbiage. I understand power of attorney closings. I understand these different aspects. And when you speak the lingo, people are gonna, I know how to explain the closing disclosure. People are gonna want to. They're like, okay, well, hey, I'll give you a shot. And she sounds like she's been trained. She may not have much experience, but she sounds like a go-getter. And she sounds like somebody that I can work with, so I may give you a shot on like a small seller's package or a refi, because if there's any errors, we do have that 3-day right to cancel, so anything can be fixed, so those are ways you can get around lack of experience.
So I'm that question. I'm going to go to the next question. When I first started, I literally told them, I'm fresh off the street, but I'm a real estate investor. I have properties, right? I was at XYZ, whatever. They was like, okay, well, we'll take a chance on you, but we're only going to give you this type of package. Let me see how you do. And if you do well, then we'll put you into the fold. So I think that if loan signing agents can probably present it in a way that says, hey, maybe I can do a seller's package. You give me an opportunity so I can prove to you, XYZ, and see where that goes. I think it's all about the dialogue and then feeling all nice and cuddly when you're talking to them, because they're taking a risk. Because you're dealing with people's lives and monies and everything else. So cool. Good question. All right. So here's a couple of people saying that they countered Notary Go, hey, Blue Scorpio, and they got the money. So that's dope. I think another one as well. Yes. What? After you love and pink? I'm not sure. All right. So let's keep going. This is awesome of you, Calvin. Good looking out. Awesome. I'm just going to show the screens here and keep moving down. Okay. I think Pamela has another question. Okay. I was just thinking that their fees are low and they get slammed a lot online. Is it worth it for the experience? I'm assuming you're still talking about Notary Go. I assume, Pamela, if I'm not, let me know. But yeah, Notary Go is low, but if anybody that's coming off the street, got their commission brand new, sign up to Notary Go. One thing I will tell y'all is if you do sign up to Notary Go and you see text messages and messages coming across your screen and you're clicking the button, but you're not getting the appointment, the reason for that is if you're a newbie and it's your first time taking an assignment, you have to pick up the phone and call them. So this message and you want that signing, pick up the phone, say, hey, this text message just came across. I'm new in your database. You said XYZ. Okay, I got you, Ty. And then after you take that first one, it's closed, no issues. Then you don't have to do it after that. Okay. Cool. Juanita, Florida, I will definitely be reaching out to you for assignments. Awesome. Yeah, I love it.
Get at me on social media.
All right. Yes, Calvin, were you able to plug in your Instagram and all that, or your social medias when you tapped into the room or no? Because I just see your name. Yeah. So what's your social media? I'll put it in the comments.
Everything's Calvin J. Darville. So Calvin, my first name, and then J. Darville. That's everything. So anybody who wants to work with me, you can write me on Instagram, write me on Facebook, write me on LinkedIn, anything. And I use signingorder.com. That's my platform. So you have to be on signingorder.com for me to work with you. You have to have your W-9 and all that good stuff, background, everything. But that's what I use. Calvin J. Darville, on all social medias.
Okay. See if I can pop this on here. Okay. I'm gonna go to the next question. Okay. So it says, thanks for hosting this. Are you all going to talk about how to start and implement a signing service with an app for notary signing agents? Great job, both of you. Thank you so much, Monique. So we can segue into that. There's so many things that we can touch on this whole thing, but we can segue into the whole how to create a signing service. You and I talked about it. It doesn't seem very complicated, but do you want to touch a little bit on creating a signing service and what does it mean to do so?
So yeah, I mean, it's not depending on the size. I mean, once you start, I know signing service owners who do like, thousands of closings a month, but depending on the size, it's not too hard. So you want to have a good clientele base, a good number of title companies or lenders or realtors you're working with, who can provide you with closings in different areas and stuff, and who trust you. So first of all, it's all about trust, so once you have that, enough clients, then you could present to them like, hey, I also I'm starting a signing service, where I can help you find notaries across the nation who are trained and vetted in closing real estate transactions, and if they're willing to let you do that, they'll give you those closings and be like, hey, I got to close a seller's package in New York for such and such time. Can you get a notary out there to close that? So the biggest thing from there, once you have that trust with them, is you're gonna need some type of platform, or that you don't have to have it, but the platform. So I use Signing Order. So every notary who has signed up with Signing Order, I can use, and that's thousands and thousands and thousands of notaries. So that provides me with notaries, So if my client gives me a closing in New York, that means that I need to have a notary in New York who can do that. So Signing Order gives me that ability to type in the address and find the closest notary, who's there. So I have to pay Signing Order for that, obviously, so that's an expense for my business. But so yeah, you're gonna need a platform, which is the biggest thing. Then you'll need $1 million worth of E&O insurance. And then depending on how big you want to go, you're going to need schedulers. I mean, if you're getting like 200 closings a day, then you'll need schedulers, because that's a lot of work. I mean, you got to upload docs. You got to make sure docs are good. Things happen. Packages come late. You got to review the scan backs. You got to make sure notaries drop their work. You got things happen at the closing table. You got to take care of that. So, yeah, but the biggest thing is just having a good clientele base who can provide you with the closings, and then having a platform. So either Snapdoc Signing Order, there's Notary Dash, there's different platforms.
Okay, so I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said about the signing companies and start company. So when you guys, like I always tell y'all, like if you follow me on Instagram, the Abnormal Notary, I always tell you guys, it's not always about the paper and knowing your documents, right? The second part is actually understanding who your client is. Because what if you wanted to go into to become a signing company, right? The impacts that you have as a loan signing agent is not just about the closing table. Because if you want to expand your business and go greater, all of these networking opportunities that you have, they're right in front of you. You watch it or you're not. So I think that, to your point, Calvin, how you've grown your client base is based upon your experience and based on what you've done as a loan signing agent. And they've realized that, you know what, Calvin is the bomb. So I have no problem signing on to his company so I can send him business. So I think it's important that you guys realize that. And I know I'm going to tangent real quick. These Facebook groups, all of these things that people are talking about, naysaying, and you can't do this or whatever, you own your own destiny. Only you can rescue you. Nobody else can do that for you. So with that being said, just rock out and stop listening to the noise. Because it's annoying. Okay.
Block that out.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. We have a lot of questions, Calvin. I know we said 12. Okay. So the next question is, what are a few companies that a new notary should sign up with? Snapdoc Signing Order, Notary Go. Your closers is good, but you got to be fire fingers for signature closers, depending on what area you in.
Yeah. You got to be quick.
Do I show anybody? Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. So I want to clarify though. Snapdoc Signing Order. So those are platforms.
Those are not. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. So you have signing services, and then you have the platforms that the signing services use. So you definitely need to be on the platform. So you need to get signed up with Snapdoc. You need to get signed up with Signing Order, and Notary Dash is another one, because those are the databases that the signing services are using to go in and find the notaries and pull them from the database. So in order to work with particular companies, then you need to be in their database so they can find you. So get signed up with the platforms first, and then some signing services that you can get signed up with. You can get signed up with me, Comfortable Closings. Like I said, email me on all social medias or at Calvin J. Darville. Some other good ones are Solidify. I'm in Tampa, so I don't know what will be good in your area. You just need to, honestly, I think 123 Notary has a list of all the signing services in the nation. You need to call every single one and find out which ones do business in your area. Some big ones are Solidify. You got Notary Go. You got, there's Network Trend. I mean, there's Network Transaction Solutions. There's a whole bunch of them. You got Exo.
What's that?
Those are in my, they do closings in my area.
Oh, I'm like network transition. Like what?
I don't know if they do close. Yeah, so that's why I say you need to call the whole list, because you got to find out which ones do business where you're at. Just because they do business in my area doesn't mean they do a lot of business in your area. So my recommend for that question is to find a list of all the signing services in the nations and take a day, take a week. It's going to take a long time. You got to take a week to get your name out there and find out which ones are doing business in your area. That's the only way.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times when you're trying to find people, you can also be doing your marketing, because I think when you're searching, your searching is also going to let you know who your target audience is, right? So at the end of the day, when you're doing your Google searches, you can be like, oh, okay, I know that in this area, this title company services this area. Okay, so let me go over and put some marketing materials in that area. So people, not only as a loan signing agent, maybe I can get some general notary business, right? Just thinking.
Yeah, I mean, when you get your name out there, you start getting calls about all type of stuff. I can still get calls about the randomest general notary work. I'll do it. I'll go stamp one.
Right, exactly.
Money.
Awesome. All right, so the next one, I think we already answered this question. I'm not sure what platform you mean, Casey. Do notaries have access to those reviews? I'm not for sure. I don't know if you're talking about Snapdocs. I'm going to say no.
They don't.
Calvin, is that correct?
They do not have access to the reviews, unfortunately.
Okay. Tracy Lewis, I want to mentor. I'm in Ohio. Y'all know I mentor. I just opened up my practice. Calvin, I'm mentoring or whatever. If you are.
I
mean, I'm about to say you have a whole company that you're trying to run. Like,
yeah, but I am always willing to help. So if you have any questions, you can, and I take phone calls, I take, all that, but I don't have a mentoring business now.
Okay. So as y'all know, I do have mentoring business. It's in my link tree. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, I have a link tree. You guys can just go in and it's free. Talk to me 15 minutes. If we want to do a mentorship program, that's fine, but we have to vibe. I think not every mentor is right for that mentee, and that mentee may not be right for that mentor. So that's my 2 cents. So holler at me, Tracy. What's up? All right, next one, Darkness Falls. Gotcha. Thanks, Calvin. Awesome. All right, 15 minutes, you guys. So get your questions in, because we're going to end. I want you to get back to your Sunday. I'm going to get back to mine. Mona, when starting out as a notary, do you need to have an LLC? So I answer this question, then I'll tag you. I personally do not feel you need an LLC in the beginning. The reason for that is because I believe you may not like it. So you're going to invest in all this money, get the top-notch printer. I would say after a couple of months, once you're hitting the pavement, you should know, okay, do I want to invest in to actually do this, right? That's my humble opinion. Some people are worried about their names being taken if it's not an LLC, but just because you have an LLC and that's your name, that's just registered with the state. That doesn't mean your name is trademark. Just saying. What are your thoughts, Calvin?
No, you don't need that. That's just, don't get caught up in those little small mechanics. Just go out and, like you say, find out if you like the business. You need to get business first. So there's no point in making an LLC if you have no business. So you just go out there and get known, do some closings, find out if you like it, and then get that, go back and get that covered. That's what I did.
And I would say this. That's what you did. Yeah, I didn't get my LLC. I didn't transition my LLC because it was another one. Then I changed it to a D business as. I didn't do that till January of this year, and I've been rocking out since August of last year. You know what I mean? Because I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do this. So I think you have to weigh out your pros and your cons, and if there's something that you want to do, that's what you want to do. If you have questions, like I said, come holler at me or come holler at Calvin.
Yep.
Okay, next question. Pamela, sometimes it works the same way with a regular employee. When you get hired, it's a negotiation. They have a budget they can work with, right? Yep. So every signing company has a budget. They have employees. They have overhead, so on and so. Get it.
Yep.
But you know what? If I'm going to tangent, Calvin, go ahead. What you saying?
I was gonna say, you just got to find the ones that work well with you. Like you say, with the mentors and mentees, everything's not a good fit. Maybe that signing service isn't a good fit for you. Because I mean, the bigger companies, they have different pay structure because they have different fees agreed with their clients, you know, because they're pumping out so many. So if a company is giving you a high volume, they may want to be charged lower because they're providing you with more business. So therefore, they can only pay the notaries a certain amount, you know. But hey, they pump out. So Notary Go pumps out a ton of closings, but they only pay
Oh my
$6.
gosh.
But
Exactly.
it's still a ton of closings. So imagine if you did like 100 closings for them. I can't provide one notary with that many closings, but Notary Go can provide because they have, you know. So I mean, you just got to figure out what works best for you. You know, it's all a team effort, like I said, anyway. So, you know.
Agreed. Okay. Next question. Can we discuss signing the agency? We actually already did that, Eileen, but just high level. And if I mess up, just interject. But basically, it all comes down to networking, getting your direct clients, having a database of strong, verified notaries in your platform, E&O insurance for $1 million. What else? And marketing. But anything else? High level?
That's pretty much it. High level. And then from there, you just determine how big you want to go. You know, if you want to take your signing service to thousands of closings a month, then from there you'd probably need employees and stuff. But like a high level view, like she said, you just need a platform full of notaries. You have to have trust with your clients so they can provide you with business, and then make sure your E&O insurance is good.
Yeah, and the platform that you use for your signing company is Signing Order, right?
Yes.
Okay. So also you need a platform. So just make sure you have a good platform. All right, we are rocking. 15 minutes, you guys. Okay, Miss Deborah, hi. How are you doing? Okay, Chris Brown, completely understand. You're right. It's all about the budget. We'll just fill these comments up here. Chris Brown is completely understand. Darkness, you're right. It's all about the budget. Thank you so much.
I'm sure if they could pay you more, they would. I mean, I would love to pay my notary.
You think so? But Notary Go's so big. They're across the country. So
yeah, I mean,
they probably have hundreds and hundreds. Yeah. All right, Tracy, you're very welcome. Chris Brown. So it's Android users don't get. I don't control Clubhouse. I wish, but I'm hearing they're supposed to be opening it up for Android users and like
Android users never get love. You just need to go ahead and. I'm just saying.
I was an Android user, and then I was like, you know what?
I told my boy that. My boy, he got Android. I'm like, bro, listen. You just got to stop with the grain. We live in the Apple world. Like, we got to get these apples. Come on now. Hey, if Android can make it change, then I'll go to Android. But right now, you need Apple.
Yep, true. Sorry, Chris. All right. Awesome. Cheryl Crosby. Let's see here. Crosley, sorry. Awesome. That's what I needed to hear. Improve my marketing. Marketing is everything, you guys.
Everything in every business and everything. Marketing for real.
Yes. So that's it, Pamela. You answered it. Okay. Let's see what else we have. I got my first opportunity in Snapdocs with a seller's package for $90. I jumped. Yes. Awesome. Darkness.
Great fee for a seller's package. Great.
Yeah.
It'll probably take you like 10, 15 minutes and you just made $90.
Right. Right. And this is what I'll tell y'all. When I first started doing my loan signing, Calvin, it took me an hour and 45 minutes to do my first signing.
Yeah.
I don't have any formal training. Everything has been my trial and fire. But I've been blessed to like have a unique, personality. So I've done well in my business. But an hour and 45 minutes. Now it takes me a good 30 minutes for a refi, probably shorter. If the customer's like, I don't need to read nothing, just give me the page, I'll sign and date.
Yeah.
Cool. That's the best customer ever in life. just. Okay. So Sabrina, good morning. Great information being shared. Terrific job. That's your mom?
Yeah.
Your mom? That's awesome. Wow. I love it. Pamela, Chris Brown. Do notaries get hit for asking for my money? Will it end up on a review? Oh, that's a good question. So the question is, what do you think?
No, I mean, it depends on how you do it. I understand, everybody may want more money. I don't hold it against anybody, but I would rather work with a notary who can accept my fee, that I'm paying them. But if it's if I'm in a bind and then I'll pay you more money. And it depends on how you do it. Also, I've heard stories of notaries literally calling the signing service at the closing table and asking for more money. Like you can't do something like that. That's just bad.
Literally at the table?
At the closing table. If you didn't want that fee, you should not have accepted that fee. So you don't do it on the back end, and just make sure you do it with some manners. I mean, some of them are like, hey, I'm going to invoice you $150 for this. Oh, okay,
What?
You can't do that. Yeah, so it's just all how about
yeah. I think that what's so interesting, a lot of people say counter. To your point, it really depends on how you counter. Because I think some people think they've been in the game for so long and I can just XYZ. Things are not as where they were 20 years ago. They could be completely different. You know what I mean? So I think evolve and transition. But I think it's also communication is key, but I think it's always how you present yourself. So I agree.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. Next question. Okay. Casey, this is a good question. So I get a lot of this from my mentees. I hate calling them mentees. They're just people that I'm helping. People that I'm helping. Do you hire evenings and weekends? I have a lot of people that say all they can do is from like 6 to 9 because they have a 9 to 5. And a lot of the signing companies, most of their stuff, not most of them, but the ones that I've seen is during the day. Notary goes everywhere. They don't have no time frames. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll definitely hire you if you can only work on weekends and evenings. Just let me know your schedule so I can know that out the gate. So when I'm sending you closings, I can look at the time frame. Like, hey, she only works on weekends and evenings, so let me make sure this fits her schedule. So just make sure you let me know. So if I do send you something in a day and you keep denying it, I'm like, oh, she doesn't want to work with me. But yeah, so just let me know.
Awesome. For all of you that are doing a 9 to 5, there's a lot of signing companies that need people at night because you have a lot of them that are running during the day, right? And then by the time night comes, they're burnt out. So they need you to come in to finish it up. That's my thoughts on it. Okay, so thanks so much for answering. You're very welcome. You're so right about those groups. Don't get me going on Facebook groups because I've gone on a tangent. I will tell y'all, me and Brittany are opening up a new Facebook group called the Notary Companion Link Up. We're launching on Monday. It's a private group, so you'll be getting invites if you're on my newsletter. If you're not on my newsletter, get on the newsletter. Link in my bio. Okay, Betsy and Calvin, thank you for taking the time to do this amazing interview. Thank you so much. My nerves kick my butt a lot of the times, but I appreciate you. Love NTS. Awesome.
That's our Network Transaction Solutions.
Thank you for the acronym. Yeah. That's a signing company in Florida?
Yeah, they do a lot. They do high business in my area. I'm sure they do business in a lot of other areas. But they're great. Yeah, they're a great company. They pay solid fees. I think they pay bi-weekly or weekly, either one. And they're good people. I developed a very strong relationship when I was working with them because they were based out of Tampa. So I've actually met the owner and schedulers and all of that over there. So if you want, I would definitely recommend you calling them and finding out if they do business in your area.
And it's National Transaction Solutions?
Network Transaction Solutions. Yep.
We're almost done. All right, let's to the chat. Excuse me. Looking forward to doing general notary work. That is so true. There are some companies that do business in Southern Virginia, but almost nothing in Northern Virginia, where I am at close to DC. Okay. And Virginia is a unique state. You can't even deal with proceeds at the table. Like if you don't have a title, I think it's title insurance license, you can't handle money, which is very interesting. Yeah, I found that out on one of my other posts. The lady said, I'm in Virginia, but I can't handle proceeds because title insurance license to handle proceeds.
Yeah, I mean, every state is different with their laws and stuff, so you definitely want to, abide by your state's laws.
Agreed. Looking for doing general notary work too. Awesome. I will reach out to you, Ty. Thank you. You're very welcome, Tracy. Should I get a notary resume? I'm not going to answer that question. No, I'm just playing. Delia, go ahead. Calvin, do you look for a resume as a signing company? Do you think it's important to have a resume Or could they just use notaryresume.com? What is your thoughts?
I mean, if you're on the platform, I mean that'll be a resume. So I definitely feel like your profile should look good, look solid, because those are all the little things. Like I told you, my main thing, I'm looking at experience and reviews. But if I've never worked for you, I want to see your profile. I want to see a nice picture. I prefer for you to have a picture so I can see who's doing this closing for me. You should have a nice bio, speaking of knowledge, speaking of lingo, speaking of your service, and just showing me I can kind of get an attitude. Your attitude, you have a positive attitude from the way you wrote your bio. Your credentials should be on there. If your loan signing system, if you're whatever type of training that you took, if you're NNA certified, I want to see all that. So that is your resume. But a separate resume, no, I wouldn't recommend that. I wouldn't really have the time to look at that, honestly, because everything's going so quick. I wouldn't have the time to look at another resume.
You know what it kind of reminds me of is like Instagram. You have 7 seconds to catch my attention. And if you don't catch my attention, I'm going to move on to the next one. So I think a bio that points out to me and say, hey, I do XYZ. Oh, you know what? Ty has an interesting bio. Let me look her over. So I think that's important. I also think too, so to the answer to the question, I second agree. I concur that you don't need a notary resume. Your profile is your resume. Yeah. So just make sure if it's on one platform, make sure it's consistent across the rest.
Yeah.
And if you change it on one, change it on.
And put some effort into your profile and what you have written there. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. Don't think about it. Don't overthink it. Right. It needs to be nice, and just a reflection of who you are, and then giving call that's why I like so if I've never worked with you, I'm probably going to call you before, because I want to hear your voice. I want to hear your attitude. I just want to, meet you and, see who's going to be at this closing table for my company, representing my client, my title company, representing the lender, representing the realtor. I mean, you got to take pride in what you're doing. You're representing a lot of people. And I mean, people are making big, huge investments. So, take pride in your business, your work, and what you do.
Facts. All right, we have 4 more minutes. I'm gonna try to get to the rest of these questions. Oh my God, thank you guys so much for engaging. I appreciate you. Let me see here. Any advice for title producers? So I know I just mentioned Virginia, and I think there's one more. I'm not sure which the other one is. Do you know anything about title producer states? Getting work as a loan signing agent. Okay. No, so now you guys are gonna have me research. Okay, now you have to make research and probably go find someone to bring to the show to talk about it. So coming back to you on that creative conversation. Pamela, Calvin, when looking for a notary in regards to location of the signing, do you or your... Okay, so this is a freaking amazing question. I'll let you read it real quick. So the question is, so the question is, hey, so when I sign up to these profiles, what exactly is a company or a lender or a direct title company looking for when they're searching for the best notary? Is it by the county? Is it by the zip code? Should they put that in their profile?
I would probably go with counties. So if you're going to put it in your I'd probably go with cities. So if you're going to put it in your profile description, so I know my counties over here where I'm at, but if you're in Virginia, I won't really know your county. So if you're going to put it in your profile description, I will put the cities that you cover there. And then from there, so when I get an order, so if I get an order in like Virginia or something, when I type in the address, it's automatically going to bring up all the notary. It's going to have it listed by the closest. So it's going to start with like 0.01 mile, then it's going to go out 0.02, 0.03. It's going to go out from there. So the closer you are to the closing, that's going to be how who I see first. But before all of that is going to be my preferred notary. So if I've already marked you as preferred, I've liked you and gave you my preferred mark, if I get a closing in your area within like a 25-mile radius, you're going to be at the top. That's why it's best to get in contact with these signing services so you can be marked as preferred, because it's literally like who's at the top. Like who I see first is who I'm going to, who I see first. If you have a good profile, like I said, if you got good reviews, you got a good description, I'm sending you that closing. So if you can get preferred, you're going to be at the top. You're going to be at the top of the list. Yeah. So, but just to touch on what her specific question, I recommend putting the cities in your what cities you cover, because if I'm a signing service and I'm doing business in California, I don't know. I'm definitely not gonna know the zip codes, and I probably won't even know the counties, but I probably will know the cities like San Diego, Los Angeles. I may know the cities.
So the question is, how far do you go out from your base location? So for instance, I live in New Jersey, right? The county that I live in is Somerset. So which is in the county, which is the town that I live in. I don't mind telling people. I'm in Bridgewater, right? So do you guys go out 30 miles from Bridgewater? So do I need to be looking at every single zip code, 30-mile radius? Like, how do I know what cities to put on my profile in order for you guys to be like, ding, 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 let me hit up Ty?
I would just recommend just putting the cities that you do cover and how far you're willing to travel. So you could say, if you're willing to travel 2 hours, put that in there. If you're willing to travel an hour and a half, if you're willing to travel up to an hour, put that in there. So I can know what you're willing to do. Because my initial search is going to be a 25-mile radius. So I'm gonna get all the signing agents in the 25-mile radius. If I don't like any of the notaries that I have in a 25-mile radius, or if they're all booked up, or if there's only a few in that 25-mile radius, then I'm going to open it up to a 50-mile radius. So it's going to keep going out from there until I can find a notary. So that's all good stuff to have in your description. How far are you going to drive? Are you willing to drive an hour? Are you willing to drive an hour and a half? And I can gauge by your description on your attitude and your work ethic. Like, hey, I'm willing to drive 2 hours. I understand if there's any errors, I will go back and get them fixed. I don't cause funny conditions. I get these documents hand delivered. I scan them. Those are all things you need to have in there. So I know what type of value you're bringing to the table.
Okay. We're at the top of the hour. You tell me, do you want to spend 5 more minutes to get the rest of these questions out, or do you want to end and you let me know?
Let's go ahead and get all the questions out and we can wrap it up.
All right, perfect. Okay, so if a signing agent makes an error and is willing to correct, to do that one. Hillsborough. Did I already do this question? Let me see. Huh?
So I need to stay.
Yeah, we already did that one. You need to stay in? That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, because sitting over, I just can't do it too long.
Yeah, like your neck is killing you. Let's see. Okay. From Linda Bartley Bailey. If a signing agent makes an error and is willing to correct it, would you give them another assignment? Good question.
This is a great question. And this is really make or break on how, if I'm going to have a long relationship with this notary. So if you make an error, it is not the end of the world. We all make errors. It's going to happen. Things happen, but it's literally how you handle the error. If I call you and I'm like, hey, Linda, you missed a stamp on such and such, or you missed a signature on such and such, I want to hear like, oh my goodness, I'm going to go get it fixed. Let me know the time. I'm going to call the bars right now. I'm going to set it up to get it fixed. I'm going to hop on it. I'm going to get it fixed, and I'll get you a scan back of the corrected one right away. I love to hear that, because that means you're taking pride. Like you made a mistake and you're going to go get it fixed. You're going to go get it handled. So this deal can go smoothly for the clients, So it's really all about how you handle it. If you do make an error and I call you and you're like, oh, well, I'll get to it. My schedule's looking like I could probably get to it Wednesday or 2 days down the road. I'm not going to want to work with you anymore, So if something happens, which I understand, things happen, but it's just all about how you handle it. You got to own up to your mistake and just go and get it corrected. And then, hey, let's move on. We learn from our mistake. It won't happen again. Let's move on. It's not the end of the world. It's literally not the end of the world.
I have to agree. I think a lot of the times people, their misconception is, oh, if I mess up and I don't tell anybody, are they going to catch it? They're going to catch it, because they have to go through the documents to make sure you didn't miss a notarization, you didn't miss a signature, a date, an initial. So I think upfront and transparent, you're going to go further. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you money on Snapdocs right now. You're going to trip out. You'll be like, hey, Ty, how's that possible? My rating is a 4.4. Why? Because when I started, I messed up. I messed up a lot. And it happens. But I think that if you guys just reach out and you say, hey, this could be a potential, or whatever the case may be, parent with your conversation with these signing companies, you'll go a long way. Because now Notary Go reaches out to me, and I'm the one that messed up a lot of their loans. But now they call me because we have built a relationship.
Yeah,
so good.
I will make you prefer, like, if you make a mistake and you handle it with urgency and enthusiasm, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna get on top of this, and you own up to it, like, I will mark you prefer. Like, I know I can work with this person, like, she's handling her business like a professional.
Right. Exactly. Awesome. All right. Eileen, real estate law firms. What do you think? Do you have law firms in your company that you deal with?
Yeah, I only have one client that's an attorney. Yeah, I mean, it's just like a title company. Kind of just go in, introduce yourself, speak the knowledge, speak the lingo, tell them how to go over loan docs. Like I say, you don't cause funding conditions. You hand deliver everything. You just have to figure out if that is a real estate law firm. But if so, yeah, they can definitely provide you with closings. I definitely highly recommend marketing to them. But yeah.
Okay, awesome. Next question, Tracy. Is it important to focus on money per closing or money per month? I don't know if I understand that question.
Money per month.
I don't know if I understand that question. Huh?
I don't think you should focus on either money per closing or per month. Just focus on the value that you're giving your clients. If you're giving them good value and you're doing your thing, and you're doing a good job at the closing table, the money will follow. This is a very fruitful business. It's a very great time to be in this business. So if you are giving major value and you understand, like, if you understand, I keep touching on this team thing. This is a team business. If you understand that you are a team, like, my notaries are part of my team. My title companies, I'm a part of their team. The title company is part of the lender's team. If you understand that, I mean, the money will come. Just do your role, and the money, they will love to work with you. And you could probably name your fee at that point.
Right.
Honestly.
Exactly. I think of what a lot of, and this is the next question I was about to throw up my Instagram. This goes into Clyde's question. What is the biggest misconception as a notary regarding signing services? Right. So do you want to get on that?
Oh yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I think the biggest misconception is that that signing services just want to make all the money. Like, it's not that. Sometimes there's really just not enough money in that fee to to pay out any more. And sometimes, when you do counter and they accept it for a higher, they may do that just because they're in a bind. And there's been times where I've literally sent out closings. I didn't even make a dime on the closing, because I just had to get it assigned. So just understand that the signing services aren't just, they do want to make money, but they can only pay you what they can pay you, because the business still has to operate. If there's no money, no revenue, there's no business. Therefore, there will be no signing service. So they have to make money to continue to operate as a business.
Agreed. So that's a good question. I think that the misconception is that signing services just throw out a fee, even though they don't even know what the fee should be, or they're throwing out a fee, but then they can counter and then I can get the higher fee. In my humble opinion, since I've been in the business, I don't understand why there's not consistencies across signing services. Like, why one charges this, another, like for you charge good freaking money, right? For a seller's package, $100, where Notary Go will probably charge $40. And I think it's just the overhead. The overhead maybe is the amount of people in the company, right?
Yeah,
the marketing that they have to do. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So Clyde Hepner, just to let you guys know real quickly, and we're going to wrap up because I don't think there's too many more questions. Clyde Hepner is the creator of the Integrity Journal, specifically for signing agents. It is a dope journal. He and I will be having an interview next Sunday at 11 a.m. So please check into that. I'll have everything up for that soon this week. So that should be an interesting conversation as well. So welcome, Clyde. Thank you so much for engaging. I appreciate you. Okay, so next one, I think we're almost done. Let's see here. I'm sorry, what is the name of Calvin's business? Does he work with agents in Texas?
I think I saw my mom. I think she answered that question.
Did she? She's running the chat. Yes.
She's over there running the chat room.
I love it. Awesome.
But yeah, we work nationwide. We work everywhere, Hawaii, Alaska, wherever. We'll get you business if we have business out there. But we're always looking for new notaries in any area, and we're expanding. We're going to be expanding. We're expanding now. So anybody who wants to work with us, come on board.
Let's go. That's amazing. Delia, how much do you recommend saving for starting a signing service? So how much in the bag should you have saved?
You should have, I don't know what number to put on it, but you're going to need some savings, and it all depends on the size. Like I keep telling you, because as you grow your signing service, you're going to eventually need to hire an employee. You're going to need to hire maybe a bookkeeper. You're going to need to hire a scheduler. So you're going to need savings, because the revenue the business is producing will have to pay those employees, and you may have to take money out of your savings to actually pay them at the beginning, as you're scaling. So you're going to literally be paying money for your business. It's not actually going to be bringing you income. So you're going to be paying, until it scales to a point where, it's taking care of itself and you're getting paid, the employees are getting paid and everything. So, I mean, you probably, you want to have a nice chunk of change saved up. I don't know what number to put on it, but a nice chunk of change, maybe like 10,000 something. I don't know.
10,000. So question for you: why do some companies have the ability to pay weekly, where some have a net 30? So net 30 means you have to wait 30 days when the closing can happen in 3 to 4 days after you've completed the signing. So why does that take so long?
I would say it's, it's all like their accounting, maybe, so maybe they want the checks to clear on their end before they pay out the notaries. And then paying out the notaries is a very time consuming task. So you need employees. That's another thing you would need employees for, literally to pay out, depending on how many closings you're doing. If you're doing thousands of closings, I mean, that's thousands of notaries you have to pay. So, trying to do that every week would be very demanding task, depending on the size of your company. I try to do bi-weekly. I try to pay my notaries bi-weekly. Everyone wants their money, so I try to get that handled. But it depends on the size of the company. If they're a huge company, they may do a 30-day payout. Especially if they're issuing checks. It depends. Some companies do direct deposit. So it depends, honestly.
Okay. Awesome. We're almost done, Calvin. Almost done. Everybody's saying part two. What's it say? Let's see here. Pink, are you planning to expand your signing service beyond 200 signings per month?
Oh yeah.
Kind of tie that. Okay.
We're going for 200 a day.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going for
Dark
200.
200. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's the goal.
No. So Darkness Falls says they only do 20 to 25 mile radiuses. I tell them straight up. I hear you. I pick and choose now.
Let the company know. Just let them know. What you're willing to cover. Hey, I mean, that's good information to know. So if I have anything outside of that, I know I can't. I'm not going to come to you about that. But let them know. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you do good business, hey, you cover what you cover. That's your,
that's what you do. Do you drop the fee if they make a mistake?
Do I drop? No, I'm not.
If you say $100 for a sales package, if they make a mistake, you're gonna give them $70?
Oh no, definitely not. I'm gonna pay them $100. I'm not gonna pay you.
Reassign you?
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Some notaries think like, okay, if they make a mistake, they want me to pay them extra to go out to get the mistake that they made fixed. Like, I'm not gonna do that. If you made a mistake, you gotta go get it fixed.
Yeah, I learned that too when I was a signing agent. I still am. I still practice. But whenever I make mistakes, they're like, hey, you did X, Y, Z. I'm going to say, okay, no problem. I'm going to go out, fix it, put it and return it on my dime. And I think that's how I got more business as well, because I've taken the initiative to say, you know what, my bad. I apologize. Let me go take care of this right now. I think Darkness Falls said, you drop everything, go take care of it, get it done, send it back, and you're good. So I agree. Okay. I'm gonna have to pass over some of you guys, but I appreciate you. Linda, Betsy, can you give an estimate of your costs for starting your signing agency? I think you should probably take that offline. I don't know if you want to talk about that online, Calvin, or not.
I'm not even really sure. I'd have to.
Okay.
But if you give me a call, you can talk about that, or just write me on social media.
Yeah. So Betsy Jimenez, if you just reach out to Calvin J. Darville, on all of his social medias, He'll be able to help you. Okay. Darkness Falls says, I love Clyde's journal. Yes, it's dope. For the record, we're going to be giving 3 of them, not 6, 3 of them away next Sunday. So make sure you're tapped in. Y'all know I love doing giveaways. Integrity journal. Okay, I think that's it. We're done. So first, thank you so much, Calvin, for coming on the show. I am honored that your mommy came on. Listen, that's beautiful. Beautiful.
I'm honored too.
Yeah, I appreciate you so much and sharing so much information. If people want us to do it again, barring our schedules, we may do it again. But I think there's a lot of information that people can take away. And as I always tell you guys, mindset over money. Don't chase money, create money. Calvin, what you got for me?
Just go out, guys. Go out, get known. Massive action. You know, they can't do, no matter how great of a notary, how great of a person, how great of whatever it is that you do, they cannot do business with you if they do not know you. You know, so the number one thing is to get known. You know, make a call, drop in the title companies, show them some love, give them gifts, and give them, offer them the service that you provide. You know, we're providing a service for them. You know, if you're knowledgeable, you put in that hard work, then it's your duty to get out there and provide that service. And like I said, it's a team game. We're all working on the same team to get from the realtor to the lender, title company to the notary who is closing out this deal to make the buyer happy on the biggest investment they ever made in their life, probably. So take pride in your work, take pride in what you're doing, and like I say, just get known. You can do it, have confidence, and make it happen.
That's it, y'all. So I appreciate you guys. Have an amazing Sunday. Calvin, bless you, and success.
Catch you on the next one.
Yeah. See you.
Yep.